Greetings and welcome to another episode of Going All In, Get the Edge You Need to Succeed. I'm Dr. Erin McKinley, and today we have another awesome spotlight session with Dr. Lauren Roberson and two interns from the Murray State University Combined Masters and Dietetic Internship program based out of Murray, Kentucky. All right, welcome to the podcast. To get us started, I would love for each of you to give us an introduction to you and your journey to Murray State.
Thank you, Dr. McKinley. So I am Dr. Lauren Roberson. I am the Nutrition Program Director over at Murray State University. I did my education and my internship at the University of Kentucky. So I'm relatively new to Western Kentucky, but love it all the same. I've got Bayleigh Wessel and Bridget Russell both joining us as well. They are current interns. So Bayleigh, if you could introduce yourself.
What's up, everyone? My name's Bayleigh. I'm from Evansville, Indiana, and I did my undergraduate at the University of Southern Indiana.
Hi, I'm Bridget. I went to undergrad at MTSU in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee, and doing my internship through Murray State, but I'm located in Louisville, Kentucky right now.
Thank you, ladies, so much. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our program. We're really excited to announce that we've got a combined MSDI that you can complete in 15 months. And we've got a clinical focus. So I'll walk you through that and what the semesters will look like. So a little bit about Murray, Kentucky. We are just about as far west in Kentucky as you can go. We're a small community, but we really pride ourselves in being one of the friendliest small towns. We've got about 20,000 residents. We're probably most well known for land between the lakes, Lake Barkley and Kentucky Lake. Lots of outdoor activities there. If you're into hiking, boating, kayaking, all kinds of things. In terms of nearby locations and attractions, the point that I wanted to make here, we're relatively close, within a couple of hours driving distance to several larger cities, 2 hours from Nashville, 4 hours from Lexington, 3 hours from Memphis. So we are relatively well positioned in terms of geographic location. In terms of Murray State University, we were founded in 1923 or 1922, excuse me. So next year we celebrate our centennial. We have roughly 14,000 students with undergraduate and graduate students combined, and we're a teaching institution. So we're really focused on lower student to teacher ratios, smaller class sizes, and lots of interaction. So we are housed within the School of Nursing and Health Professions at Murray State University, and we are the Nutrition and Dietetics program. So our combined MSDI, which is what I'll refer to it as from here on out, we've got 33 credit hours. So you'll complete 21 of those hours while you're on site doing your rotations. And then you'll complete an additional 12 hours of coursework so that when you graduate in August, you'll have your internship hours complete and your Master of Science in Nutrition. In terms of the rotations, again, the focus is clinical, but we do offer varying experiences. So typically folks start in community for 5 weeks, whether that's a health department, primarily a health department, followed by 5 weeks in food service management. And then we've divided our MNT into 3 different rotations. So I wanted to mention that you're at the same site for food service management and MNT. So you're not moving around from location to location and having to learn policies, procedures, your way around the facility, that kind of thing. So the goal of MNT1 really is to learn the facility, learn policies, procedures, proper medical terminology, protocol, how things are done there. MNT2, you have more autonomy. So you're starting to see patients on your own, teach classes, group or individual, inpatient, outpatient. And then advanced practice is effectively when you're serving as staff relief. So quite autonomous there. And we really pride ourselves in our relationships with our sites and our preceptors. Most of them have been precepting for a long time. So there's lots of great experience in there. Now, in the middle of MNT2 and MNT3, or advanced practice, we've got 4 weeks in long-term care so that you do get exposure to the older adult population as well. Now, in terms of curriculum and courses, again, there are 21 hours that correspond to sites. So when you start the program, we start in late May. Last year, we started on May 25th, and your first 5-week summer class is NTN 610, Dietetics Professional Practice. So there it really is a crash course in how to be a dietetics professional, ethics. We review things in terms of calculations, medical terminology, lab values, and writing, because the ability to effectively communicate, whether it's written or verbal, is crucial. We also have NTN 620. This corresponds to your long-term care rotation, but is also a full semester class. We've got an orientation. So you meet on campus in August and in January of the following year. And we have in-person hands-on training, nutrition-focused physical exam. You hear from our preceptors on their expectations, from former interns, and so forth. And then we've got NTN 641, 651, and 653 that correspond to our MNT rotations, and then management practice or food service, and then community nutrition. And then we're really excited about these additional courses because we really want you to graduate with a broad perspective of lots of different areas of nutrition and dietetics. So we've got a performance nutrition class. We've got trends in the food supply, where you learn how to address questions from the public on issues such as sustainability. So communication is a big part of that class as well. We've also got pharmacology and pathophysiology so that you can have a better understanding of the complete picture of each patient that you see. And here is a table representation of what the course sequence actually looks like. So your first summer semester, if you will, starts at the end of May. Again, you're taking NTN 610 for 5 weeks, and then you're taking NTN 622 trends for the full summer session. And then you come see us on campus in August for 2.5 days. Moving on to the fall semester. Fall semester starts with your community rotation, followed by management practice. Now, those classes are only for the duration of that rotation. However, pharmacology and pathophysiology are 2 classes that last the entire duration of the 16-week semester. And all courses are online as well. Following the fall, the spring semester, a little bit of a lighter load. So you've got 2 of your 3 MNT courses, and then you've got a semester-long aging long-term care class as well. Your final semester is the second summer. So the second summer, you're finishing up your rotations, you're finishing up advanced practice, and you're taking a 10-week full summer intersession course on performance nutrition. So you end with just over 1,300 on-site hours and 33 graduate credit hours. Now, moving on to our training sites, I'm proud to say that we've got a good representation in terms of urban, suburban, and rural locations. And we're always looking to expand our sites as well. So we're not limited by any means to these geographic areas. These just happen to be facilities that we have contracts with as of now. So more trauma one, high acuity centers like Norton Hospital in Louisville, St. Joseph Hospital in Lexington, University of Louisville Hospital. More suburban, we've got Deaconess in Evansville, Indiana, Baptist Health Paducah in Paducah, Kentucky, and then more rural. So our own Murray-Callaway County Hospital as well, just to provide you with different experiences. And we do take into consideration your geographic preferences as well. Now, the application process, we do go through DICUS and D&D Digital. So we look at personal statement, right? And we'll talk more about that later, but that's really your opportunity to shine. You know, how do you stand out from other folks? Be authentic, be genuine, right? In 1,000 words or less, we do have specific questions that we want you to answer. Why do you want to enter the profession? What are some experiences that have helped you to prepare for your career? What are your goals, strengths and weaknesses, and why Murray State? So lots of emphasis on that personal statement. In terms of recommendations, we put a lot of weight there as well. We like to see recommendations from a variety of different folks. So not just all of your professors or all of your old bosses, right? But a whole host, so we can see a bigger picture of you and what you're capable of. We also consider GPA. A GPA of 3.0 or higher is important. But again, we do look at the entire picture. So other considerations, completeness. Is the application complete? Is it well written? Again, grade point average, 3.0 or higher. Work, volunteer experience. While we don't limit those with less than 400 hours of volunteer experience, we like to see that you're well-rounded. So be sure that you give yourself credit for any work or related volunteer experience that you've had related to food, right? And we want to see that that experience is recent, so within the last 4 years. The same goes for work experience. So again, we're just looking to see that you're very well-rounded. Now we've got dates on a following slide, but we do use D&D Digital to notify you of acceptance or whether or not you've been matched, and in terms of deadlines, right, your application is due February 15th. Matching day is April 3rd, and then appointment day is April 4th. So if you are matched with us, we ask that you contact our internship director, Miss Nicole Haynes. I'll show her contact information here in just a minute, but you need to contact her of your acceptance by 6 p.m. Central on that Monday. I do also want to note that we participate in second round match. So we look forward to seeing your applications. So in closing, here's my contact information. Again, I'm Lauren Roberson, Program Director, and I'm be really excited to speak with you if you've got more questions on Murray State and what we're all about. Interns here with us, we'd really like to hear from you firsthand what the experience has been like. You're in effectively your second semester, so you're almost halfway done with the program. So Bayleigh, if you could speak on behalf of your experience and how you've worked through content and what you've thought about the program thus far.
Yeah, for sure. So I absolutely love this program. I love how flexible and adaptive everyone is. And I also like the differences of the sites. So I'm actually located in Evansville, Indiana. So I'm with Deaconess Hospital. So I've been able to get the chance to work so far in the food service management department and at WIC, the local WIC clinic. And everybody's been super kind, super open. They're super willing to help, which is very nice. If I ask a question, they are ready to answer. If they don't know the answer, they're willing to look for the correct answer. So So that's something that I really love about this program for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Bayleigh. And Bridget, do you mind sharing with us about your experience?
Sure. So like I mentioned, I'm originally from Nashville. I wasn't expecting to have to get up and move, but that's part of the excitement of this program, is getting to have a choice. We do get to rank the different locations. So I wasn't expecting to move to Louisville, let alone expecting to love my rotations and where I am at the University of Louisville Hospital. And like Bayleigh said, everyone is really nice, really supportive, and really open to helping you with anything. I mean, everybody, that's one of the things I love about this program, is that everyone is very supportive and wants to see you succeed. And it's really encouraged to reach out if you need help with anything. And even though I'm in this city by myself, I feel the love through this program. So it's great.
Thank you so much for sharing, both of you.
All right, with that, I'm going to move into the 5 questions that I ask all of the programs that come on the podcast. And these questions were put together with the help of my students to make sure that I was asking the right questions of different programs. And so the first question is, what is one thing in particular that you just love to see on an applicant's personal statement?
So I would say by far your personality and your enthusiasm really should shine through, right? Why dietetics? Everybody's got their own food story. We talk in our undergraduate classes about how dietetics is very much a found major. So there's a personal reason for a lot of us entering this profession. Most people don't know about it until they've had that personal experience. So share with us, share your food story. And we also want to see that you've researched our program too. So personality should shine through, and then you should know about our program.
All right, so my second question is a true or false question. So true or false, an applicant's resume should be 1 page and 1 page only. Either way, why?
I would say false for sure. And I'd like Bayleigh and Bridget to weigh in on this too. But from my experience at this level, your experiences can't just fit onto 1 page, and you don't want to sell yourself short. There is something to be said. There's a lot to be said for brevity and for organizing the information, making it flow. But I don't want you to pick and choose. You may leave valuable information out if you're just trying to make it fit onto 1 page. So I want to see all relevant volunteer and work experience, with remembering brevity and organization.
I was going to say, I'll have to second that. So I think it's really important, especially whenever reviewing an applicant's resume, to try and get the whole picture. So make sure you're including the organizations you were involved in, if you held positions in those organizations, what you volunteered for, how those volunteer experiences affected you, where you worked, and how that work experience guided you and helped you become who you are today. And it can definitely give a better picture of yourself for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think when it comes to a resume, you definitely want to focus on quality over quantity. Some people will have a little bit more work experience. Some people have a little bit more volunteer experience. But at the end of the day, as long as your resume is focusing on what makes you a perfect fit for this program, that's all that matters. And worrying about if it's too long or too short shouldn't be the focus. It just should really be an opportunity to make yourself shine.
All right, well, my third question is my favorite question to ask programs. And it's, what is one or maybe more than one thing that an applicant may do? And this could be in any contact you have with them before they apply, in their application, at any point, something they might do that might raise a red flag where you might think this applicant might not be the best fit for this program.
Sure, that's a great question. Bayleigh, I think you've got a really timely, relevant answer. Will you get us started?
Yeah, for sure. So one thing I think applicants really need to look at is their social media. Your social media presence is very important in today's world. So it's very important to hold yourself to a high standard. So don't go posting stupid stuff like you acting silly on social media, posting inappropriate content, posting inappropriate words. It's very important not to do that because, again, everybody sees everything. And the applicant or the people reading the applications are definitely going to view that and potentially will see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Presence on social media. I think that's something that we all need to be reminded of, right? How public our audience really is. To that, I'd also like to add, being defensive throughout your career, throughout your educational journey. You're going to encounter a lot of feedback, a lot of criticism. And the pushback is to, in most cases, the intention is to get you to be the best professional that you can be, right? The best dietitian that you can be. So folks that are defensive to that criticism, rather than looking at it as an opportunity to learn, that really puts a barrier up and puts a wall up in terms of learning. And, if you're that way with patients, you're not going to accomplish very much. So definitely be open-minded, accept criticism for what it is, and always be willing to change and hear feedback.
Yes, I would really quickly just like to add, making sure that you know the program you're applying to, a little bit about the background. I would say there's nothing more embarrassing than not personalizing your application and making it look a little generic, if you will. So really just make sure that the programs you're applying to and seem knowledgeable about that.
All right, perfect. Love all of those answers. So my fourth question, what is one aspect of the program that you feel really separates you from the competition?
So I feel like this is a great opportunity for our interns to speak. So Bayleigh and Bridget, either one of you, could you jump in here?
Yeah, for sure. So one thing that I love about this program is how flexible and adaptive it is. Everybody, like we talked about earlier, super willing to help you. If you have any questions, concerns, they're an email away. You can text them. I mean, everybody is very willing to help you succeed, to get you to where you want to be and help you achieve your goals. And I love that about this program, 110%.
Oh yeah, I totally agree, Bayleigh. I also love the fact that we have a lot of options when we're looking for placements. I really enjoyed that. I'm a person who loves to travel, loves to try new things. So it really was exciting for me to see that there were a lot of options, and it really helps kind of narrow down what you want to get out of the program. If there's a city you think might be interesting that you want to check out, that's a way to get the most out of any program, but especially this program. So having those options was really exciting for me.
Thanks, Bridget. And I would just close by, making the point that our program is robust. We really have timely evidence-based curriculum. When I went through my dietetics program and my internship, I didn't have classes in performance nutrition or trends in the food supply or pharmacology or even pathophysiology. So I would argue that, while you'll work hard, the curriculum is very robust, you'll be all the better prepared. So when you graduate, you'll be very well informed and have good working knowledge on a vast array of dietetics.
All right. Well, my last question of the 5 is a 2-parter. So we'll start with the first, which is what would be the 3 best adjectives, and these could be adjectives, descriptors, or phrases, whatever's easier, to describe the program overall?
So I'm going to turn that over to both Bridget and Bayleigh.
Okay, so my 3 adjectives would be flexible, adaptive, and rewarding.
And I would say rigorous, but a good kind of rigorous, in that it requires hard work and discipline. And it's the kind of rigorous that's really worth it. I would also say comprehensive, like Dr. Roberson mentioned. It's a wide range of information. And I've really enjoyed all of the content so far, and supportive. Your professors, your cohorts, your preceptors, everyone has your back, and it's really great to be in an environment where you are working so hard, but you also have that support.
Did you have some to add, Lauren?
I do not. No, I
Okay.
couldn't have said it better myself.
Perfect, no problem. So the second half, very similar to the first, 3 adjectives to describe your ideal applicant.
I'll start. So I would say authenticity. Authenticity is really important. We get so caught up in, crafting this identity of ourselves and how we want others to perceive us on social media. I really want to see who you are as a person. So authenticity for sure. To that, I would also add ambitious or motivated. You must be a self-starter. And then engaged. So that goes hand in hand with taking the initiative, but really immerse yourself in the content, immerse yourself in the experience. Not every rotation is going to be your favorite, but look at the opportunity for what it is. It's an opportunity, right? What can you learn from that? And even if it wasn't a positive experience, there's still, many things to be learned. So there's value in that.
Okay, so my 3 adjectives. So organized, because it is self-driven. You're at your individual location. You're all over Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana. So you have to be organized. You have to be on top of things. Like Lauren said, ambitious. You have to be a go-getter. And then timely. Time management is extremely important. So you have to be willing to, or have to know how to balance for sure.
Yeah, I would say that being independent kind of ties into being that self-starter, that self-motivator, because you do have a lot of work and it is up to you to make sure it all gets done in a timely manner. So being independent and understanding what that entails is important. And like Bayleigh said, being organized is extremely important. There's, again, a lot going on and you need to be able to stay on top of it at all times. And being motivated. Sometimes, it's hard to stay motivated or it's hard to get started on something, but it's something that's extremely important when you're in this type of a program. That's the combined master's with the internship.
All right, well, I have one extra question to ask. How is RD exam review integrated into the program?
So we have an optional review session at the end of your experience. This particular year, we're looking at May, just for scheduling purposes and with some things being virtual, but we do participate in the breeding review.
All right. Well, that was all the questions I had for y'all today. So I would love to close out this episode with a quick take-home message to potential applicants. So one from each of you.
I would say you're all going through a very stressful time right now. Lots of deadlines, trying to craft that personal statement in just the right way and make it stand out. But arguably, your passion, you're going to get where you want to get if the drive is there, if the experience is there, if the enthusiasm, all of those things will show through in your application. So yes, be diligent. Yes, proofread that personal statement. Make sure you've checked all of the boxes, but also give yourself some credit, right? You're much more capable than you realize. And I think, many of us, it's safe to say we're very type A. We're very driven, perfectionist. So give yourself a pat on the back. You've made it this far, and the next step will happen for you. But it's really important to make sure that the program is a right fit for you both ways.
Okay, so my take-home message, you got this. You really do. You are smart and you are radiant. You can do this. I know, like Lauren said, it's definitely a stressful time. We've all been there. Reach out to those professors, reach out to those advisors, work ahead, don't procrastinate. You guys will definitely go places, and I believe in you. I've been in your shoes, and I am so proud of you guys. You guys are doing amazing.
Yes, I agree, Bayleigh. Also, I just want to remind everyone that you are your biggest advocate. This is a time for you to really show who you are, and if there's a program that or something that you don't feel super confident about and you might feel like I'm not good enough, just go for it. If it's something that you really want, you will find a way to make it work. And excuse me, now is the time to do that. So keep working hard and keep being your best advocate.
Thank you again for joining me on the podcast to give us some information about your program. And for those at home who would like some more information on the program at Murray State, I provided their website link in the description below this video. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode with another awesome dietetic internship. And we'll see you next time. Bye.